Ready? Go!
C7 Viper!
Hello and welcome. Today, I don't have anything to unbox except my past. That's right, I'm going to break down the top 5 dumbest things I've done in Airsoft. Now, not everyone is going to be groundbreaking, earth-shattering, crazy, but some of them are. I've been playing Airsoft for about 20 years now, and I've been recording myself doing so for about 13. And over that time, I've done some stuff that I probably shouldn't have. And I'm going to start by saying, teammates, please, do not do any of this stuff. Please. Really. Don't do it. Don't try it at home. Don't try it on any airsoft fields. Don't do this stuff. This is just stupid stuff I did when I was younger, and I'm trying to show you, don't do this stuff. And speaking of teammates, number 5 is team kills. No! Quite recently, there's been a clip that I just don't know how to show you guys, except for this video. It was from a pickup game that we were doing at my field. There was a guy pinned inside of a building, and we couldn't get him without getting hit. So my teammate John said, pull out a grenade. And I was like, no, I don't want to waste the grenade. And he was just like, throw the grenade. So I said, okay. And I was using the Thunder Bee. So I pulled the pin on the Thunder Bee. And, well, you'll just have to see what happens.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's working. That was what I was worried about.
We did.
It went off too quick. Yeah, I'm calling it.
Field?
Huh? Yeah, I'm calling it.
Alright.
It went off way too quick.
And so the reason that went off so quick is because, as you saw, when I pulled the pin on the Thunder Bee, nothing happened. And that's because the firing mechanism doesn't hit the CO2 hard enough to engage and release the CO2 into the shell, making a boom. So as you saw, I took it and slammed it down onto something, which made way too big of a hole in the CO2, filling it up instantly, and I waited about half a second too long to yeet said grenade. Then it went off. A team killing me and my friend John, and not the bad guy hiding in the building. And there's been some other incidents recently of just me being too hyper aware and just wanting to get the kill and just shooting people, turn the corner, and it ends up being my teammate. So, always be aware of your target. Don't shoot anything that you're not sure is a bad guy in a safe airsoft environment. Number 4 is kind of vague, but it's something I feel like I need to talk about, and that is not letting other people ruin your fun. Over the years, my YouTube channel was growing, and out of nowhere, it just stopped. And some people don't understand why, and that's because I let other people ruin my fun. I had a few people in my life that are what you would call toxic. Those people did some things that really got to me, and it just soured airsoft for me for a little while, so I took a quick break. And from there, the channel didn't really grow anymore. YouTube changed their algorithms, things happened, and I just let it bother me. And there's also been other people on the field that I let bother me, get under my skin. Don't do that. Don't let anyone get under your skin. You always have to remember, you're here for a game, and you're here for fun. But if you let other people ruin your fun with their toxicity, and I'm not talking about System of a Down, then you won't have fun. So don't let them get to you. I'm not going to get into too much detail because that's the past for me, but there's a reason I never finished the first season of Airsoft Elimination. Those closest to me understand, and I've finished it since then. So if you want to go back and check it out, the whole first season is in a playlist. You can binge that one. You can go to the second season and the third. I really wish I didn't wait so long between the 2 seasons. I really wish I didn't let people bother me as much as I did, but I have since let it go, and I'm urging you all to do the same. This has been your therapy session with C7 Viper. But number 3 is something that I actually have video clips to go with, and that is playing with fire. Now, I know everyone's parents always told them don't play with fire, but there are those of you who played with matches and maybe burned a patch of your front yard. Well, when we played at the farm, we did something a little bit worse than that. Every time we showed up to the farm, there was more weird stuff dumped in the driveway because people were using it to dump trash. And one time we found a barbecue grill, you know, one of those charcoal grills. And in the winter, we would fill it with sticks and make a little bonfire and stand around when it's super cold, but we still wanted to play. Some people thought it would be a great idea to throw some green gas cans into there and see what happens. So we set up a bunch of cameras and, well, check it out.
Yo. Yo, it's not close.
Nick, watch out, don't go near the fire.
Oh my God. Alright, let's do this.
Yeah, that wasn't very safe. I don't know what would have happened if we hadn't put the lid on the grill. The green gas can did not turn into shrapnel, but the top did blow off of it. I think they engineered it that way. I'm glad they engineered it that way. There was another time where I thought it would be cool to discharge green gas out of a revolver directly into the fire.
Ready? Go.
Yeah, as you saw, the flames traveled up my arm. I'm lucky I got it out. That could have been really bad. And there was a final time where we were playing in this barn that had overgrown brush, and I was using these smoke grenades. Though they were cool burning, you gotta watch those things because you pop them and throw them and you never know what will happen. When I threw it, it hit the rafters of the barn and fell to the ground. But when it hit the rafters, it made sparks, and the sparks hit the ground too and lit a whole bunch of grass on fire as we were playing. And us being a bunch of teenagers, we didn't know what the heck to do, so I threw a desk drawer at it and just jumped on it a bunch.
Don't use them for gender reveals either. California does.
Yeah, please don't use smoke grenades for gender reveals, because I don't know if any of you have seen, but people have caught the whole state of California on fire from a gender reveal, and they don't need more fires out there. It's already bad enough. Don't do the bad fire, kids. Don't play with fire. And if you do it responsibly in a controlled environment. Use your smoke grenades responsibly. And now number 2 is protect the goods. I used to think I was too cool for any kind of safety gear. Like I said before, I don't have video to go with all of these because I didn't start recording until about 2007. And this happened before 2007. But we used to sneak into construction sites at night and play our midnight games from like midnight to 3 a.m. And I used to think I was so cool and invincible that I didn't need goggles, let alone mesh covering my teeth. So I never wore glasses, goggles, anything. And a lot of my friends didn't either. And there was one time my friend got shot on the eye, and you'd think that would have taught me a lesson that like, whoa, these things are strong and they could hurt you. But he was fine. So we still didn't wear our goggles. Then one night we were sneaking into this warehouse construction site and we were playing with another group of friends from a different town. I was hiding behind a pile of wood, and I peeked around the corner, and a BB connected with my eyeball. And I mean the white of my eye, not eyelid, not eyelash, the white of my right eye. Yeah, there's a picture of it. Let's just pop that up there. That was about after a week because I couldn't open it right away. It took a while. It took about a week for me to be able to open my eye, and I couldn't see. It was really bad. And this is a weird thing to say, but luckily the guy who shot me was using a Tokyo Marui, and it chronoed under like 300. If he was using anything stronger, I would probably be left eye dominant currently. Always, always wear your proper protective gear. Eyes, teeth. I've also had 3 of my front teeth shot out because I was too cool to wear lower mesh. Now I tell everybody, wear your lower mesh because 3 of my front teeth are not real. They were just capped because they were shattered. Wear your mesh, wear your goggles, because we are dealing with projectiles that can actually hurt you. You know those welts you get once you get shot? If that was your eye or your teeth, it would be really bad. We've had several people on our field lose teeth, either entirely or chipped. And that's not good. It really sucks. The dental bills can be astronomical, let alone your jacked up grill. And we all want to see your happy smiles. So wear your mesh, wear your goggles. And speaking of sneaking into construction sites, that would be number 1. Back in the day, when I was like 18, there was no legit airsoft fields around us. There was no place to go to play airsoft. They were few and far between. This was right at the beginning of the height of airsoft, right when things were just taking off. We could play in our backyards, but that was we wanted something cooler. So all of my friends, we got together and made a team, and then we played with other friends' teams at night. We would all meet up at a convenience store and then travel to the nearest construction site, wherever that may be, and play Airsoft until like 3 or 4 in the morning and then sneak out again. And it was all well and good until a couple times we almost got caught by police. One night we came out of the construction site and there was 2 state police sitting there. We thought we're busted. That's it. I'm going to jail. But no. They were just hanging out. They didn't know we were there. We waited and waited and waited until almost sunrise. Then they finally drove away and we snuck out. It was all good. And you'd think we learned our lesson. But no! There was another time we went into a neighborhood at night and it was just me and like 3 other friends and we were going to play in this house that they were building. And then the police showed up because someone lived on that street that we didn't know about. They saw kids with guns and called the police. Luckily the police were smart and knew that the guns were probably just BB guns. They didn't freak out. And they just asked us nicely to leave. And you'd think we learned our lesson, but no. Then another night we snuck into this woods that definitely wasn't ours. Somebody saw us going into the woods and they called the police. And like 3 police cars showed up and a police helicopter showed up and we ran off into the woods and we escaped. And you'd think we'd learned our lesson, but no! The final time we snuck into a construction site. It was a giant office building. We thought it was super cool. We all parked our cars behind it and we went and got ready to play and we started the first scenario and then we heard some commotion outside. And we went outside and there was a cop and he drew his gun and told us all, get on the ground. He didn't know we had airsoft guns. He saw a bunch of guys in tactical gear and freaked out. We could have easily gotten shot. He got really mad. He confiscated all our stuff. He called for backup. Everyone showed up. They took all our guns, threw them into the trunk of their cars. There was about, I think, 15 of us there that night, and all of us had all of our guns and gear taken away, tagged as evidence, and locked up. A few guys had really expensive guns, and they were just broken. The guns were just thrown into the trunk and shattered. So we actually did get arrested as a catch and release. We didn't get taken to jail. They didn't put us in handcuffs. They wrote us a ticket and gave us a court date. We ended up getting 20 hours of community service, which I did serve, and we did eventually get all of our stuff back. I even kept one of the little evidence tags as a memento. This is the actual police department evidence tag from September 8th. 2007, when I got arrested for airsoft. So that is the actual evidence tag off of one of my airsoft guns. I actually had the most gear confiscated because back then, a lot of my friends didn't have any gear or couldn't afford any gear, so every airsoft gun in my collection would get lent out to my friends every week just so that I could have friends to play airsoft with. So about, I'd say 7 or 8 of my airsoft guns got confiscated. And the kicker was, when they gave all of our stuff back, all the guns were empty and the batteries were dead. And one of the cops told me, thanks for all the fun. They took our stuff out into the back alley and did target practice with every one of them. But I guess that's what we get for trespassing. We don't do that anymore. I use the woods behind my house, our own private property, and I built Viperville. So I don't have to do that, and neither do any of my friends. We have a safe, legal place to play. So if you think trespassing is a good idea, it's not. 20 hours of community service doesn't sound like a lot, but it sucked. I had to do it at an old folks home. We had a little bit of fun doing it though. And one of the only reasons the cops freaked out so much is because apparently someone had been sneaking into the construction site weeks before we even discovered it and started stealing things and vandalizing heavy equipment. Now that definitely wasn't us because we were just there for some airsoft. And little did we know that the building we were playing in was actually the county government building that they were making. So that was the icing on the cake, that we got busted trespassing in a government building. I'm glad the repercussions were not worse on that one, but I did get a little souvenir. So folks, to sum it all up, please, don't do any of the things I just said that I did. It might not seem like it, but the dumbest things that you do in your airsoft career will now be recorded because everyone's got a camera in their pocket. You don't want to be the viral idiot that does something like light your arm on fire for the whole world to see. Let me be that guy. You can laugh at me, but don't do it yourself. Don't play with fire. Don't trespass. And for gosh sakes, don't let anyone ruin your fun. Anyways, that's the whole video for today. Please like it if I made you laugh, or if you just thought it was cool that I lit my arm on fire 12 years ago. Consider subscribing because I put out videos twice a week, and they're not always me talking about stupid stuff I did. I do a lot of unboxings, gameplay, you know, the usual. So please, click subscribe and you will not regret it. Like my stupid regrets from when I was younger. I still consider each and every one of you my teammates. Thanks for watching. Have an evidence tag.
I'm actually actually kind of amazed that you're even here right now.
That's the nicest stuff I ever did. They are never gonna find out about the craziness. Just kidding, there's no craziness. I was actually pretty tame as a youngster.
Well, what about that one time?
We don't talk about that one time.